Okay, you are good to go.
Good evening. This is September 12th, meeting of the Bridgewater Zoning Board of Appeals.
November.
November, sorry, November. Pursuant to, I don't know where September came from. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the Open Meeting Law, General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 18, and Governor's March 15th, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place, this meeting of the Bridgewater Zoning Board of Appeals will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately address the proceedings in real time. This meeting is being recorded, and within 48 hours, we will post a link of the recording on the town's website and/or other town social media pages. The following members of the Bridgewater Zoning Board of Appeals are participating remotely. Myself, Anna Klimas, Vice Chair, Dan Greenberg, Member, Amanda Mattel, Member. Also, Bob Ruley and Steve Solari are present and attending. During this meeting, all votes of the board will be taken as roll call votes. At this time, everyone's mic is muted. The board's mics will be unmuted throughout the whole meeting, and as items appear on the agenda, the project representatives' mics will be unmuted. If the project is a public hearing and allows for public comment, we ask that you use the chat feature to ask your question by listing your name, your address, and your question. The chair will recognize your questions in the order as received. You can also use the raise my hand feature in the participant menu, and you will be unmuted when the chair recognizes you. Again, please state your name and address before asking your question. If you're on the phone, you can dial *9 to raise your hand. The first item on our agenda would,
Anna, you got to call the meeting to order.
excuse me. So with that, we would call the meeting to order. And then the first the first item on our agenda, excuse me, is 424 Auburn Street, a variance request. And who is here on behalf of that variance request?
I believe Mr. Keys is here.
Yes, I am here.
Could you just identify your name and address for the record, please?
John Keys, 86 Oak Street, Middleborough, Mass, for representing 242 Auburn Street,
Thank you.
Bridgewater.
Okay.
This
is where you tell the zoning board what you're looking for.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, first time over. So I am looking for a variance on a spiral staircase. Looking to seek relief on 4.5 feet on the right side of the property line. The submitted plans it's an addition that we did. The stairs coming off of the second floor back deck doesn't scale appropriately to what is shown. If we did what is existing, it would land on what's an existing patio and almost directly in front of an existing exit out onto the patio from the existing home. So we opted to do spiral stairs and didn't really take into account the setbacks, which is completely on us, but we exhausted all other options with turning them. I'm not sure. Do you guys have the copies of things that were submitted?
Yep. I
We
think
do.
we all
By
do.
me? All right. If you can see those, in the middle of the deck, on the first floor, there's an egress from the new workshop space. So if we turn the stairs, bottom of stairs would be in the middle of that French style patio door, blocking that egress. And also not shown on the plans is a big garden structure about 6 feet off the back of the house. And that would kind of block all egress out of there as well. If we turn them back into the alcove, it blocks the existing egress out of the side of the garage and kind of just ends into a dead end almost. Not really a smooth transition of egress. We looked at spiral stairs because it does take up the least amount of space out of any other set of stairs if we were to move them to the opposite side of the deck where we have them now. As opposed to a traditional landing with a set of stairs, another landing and stairs off of that. All the neighbors do love it, if that matters to anybody. And I believe that's my pitch.
A question for John. What is the
Yeah.
dimensions of the stairs? How wide is the diameter of the spiral staircase?
5 feet.
5 feet. And you said there's like a garden structure off the back.
Yeah, off the back, it's a raised garden bed in like a horseshoe shape with trellises that go probably close to 8 feet in the air. And it's,
So that,
I would estimate 16 by 16 roughly.
and how far is that from the back edge of the overhang there?
I would say, so there's a little bit of an overhang from the deck and the actual wall of the first floor shop addition steps back about a foot, but overall I think it's about 6.5 feet, and then there's a 1 foot overhang. So if we did stairs from there, it'd be about 5.5 feet.
So I guess my question is, if you only have like a 4 foot, 4.5 foot, 5 foot diameter spiral staircase, why couldn't that just go on the back edge of the deck, like between the deck and the garden? Like you said, you've exhausted all options, but I feel like I see
So
a few
that kind
areas
of-
where you could.
So with egress out of that side exit out of the back of the garage and the existing out of the patio, there's a gate on the far side of that deck that leads to the front. So if we put that spiral stair between the new structure and that garden structure, it kind of blocks off the entire exit way for the right side of the house out of the backyard. If that makes sense.
And this structure, this garden structure and the fence were there before you did the addition, or that went in after?
No, they've been there.
And if you or Amanda have any questions, looks like we lost Amanda temporarily. She was here, but if you have questions, but it is a public hearing and there is one member of the public here. I don't know whether she wants to speak to this application, but as a public hearing, I just have to extend that opportunity. So Pat Neary, did you want to comment on this application at all?
Thank you, but no.
Thank you.
I think we have to wait for Amanda to rejoin.
Yeah, but if you have questions, Anna, you could ask them too.
I guess I'm struggling with this, how you submitted a certified plot plan
Yep.
previously, and the stairs were kind of on the left side
Yeah.
when you submitted the certified plot plan. How were these issues not addressed or identified with the certified plot plan when you previously submitted it and it was approved?
So it was approved with the original stairs that are coming off of, if you're looking at it from the front, the left side of the second floor deck. And then coming down to a landing and turning to the left. These stairs actually scale to 3 feet wide, which they would have to be almost 4 feet to reach code inside a rail, 36 inches. Which we lose a little bit there. And this plan does not show that there's been an existing patio directly out of the back of the existing house, which comes out roughly 4.5 feet and then comes down 2 rises. And this would put us, I mean, these are all rough scaled numbers that we pulled on field, but It would land us about 26 inches in front of that second step and almost directly in the middle of the line of traffic coming out of that back door.
But I guess my question is, how come that wasn't anticipated when you submitted the initial plot plan?
I don't see how I would foresee it, I guess. I mean, we have our plans rendered by an architect. The homeowner actually came to us with these plans already stamped and everything. We don't typically think we have to scale out stairs when you look at a plan and it looks like it's gonna work. I guess we could have done a little more homework in the beginning to find that, but it's not typically something we'd ever run into, and usually most plans are a little more on par. But I mean, we do actually use this architect quite often. We use him in-house, and he's the one who recommended this customer to us, but so I guess we kind of trust a gut.
And when did you finally realize that it was in violation of the setback?
So
Was that when
We-
the as-built was finally made and you saw the numbers, or?
actually, Steve Solari came out to site when we came for, it was our rough frame inspection after electrical and plumbing. And he saw them and he checked the as-built we had and noticed they were within. I knew we were close in that back corner and we are kind of kitty cornered. Should have measured it out in hindsight, but you know, we had the whole rough frame up, had the deck built in the back, went to start on stairs, mapped them out, and kind of found out where we were landing and addressed things with the customer at that point. And it was actually their idea for the spiral stairs, and we kind of ran with it.
I think we have Amanda back.
Yeah, Amanda is back. Sorry.
Sorry, everyone. I have a unstable internet connection. It takes. Sorry
Unstable,
about
you're in the right place.
Amanda, do you have any questions?
that. I don't currently.
Maybe Anna, if Mr. Solari could just give a summary of what he saw.
Sure.
Yeah, again, I had gone up there for rough inspection, and it came to my attention that the spiral staircase, because I knew that side of the property was right to the almost right to the setback when it was built. That's why we required the engineered site plan to be done. Anytime we have an addition in town that is within 5 to 10 feet of a setback, no matter if it's an addition, a pool, everything, it requires a engineered site plan to make sure that it makes it. So I had gone out there and knew after looking at it that there was an issue. When I got back to the office to check the plan, you know, I realized that the spiral staircase had encroached on the setback, and contacted the builder and explained to him that you know, the original plan showed the stairs on the left-hand side, and this wasn't part of the original plan. So that's why we're here today for the variance, because he now encroaches by the amount he said. As far as the stairs on the left-hand side, as being a builder myself, I feel that some options should have been looking at other ways to do it before you spent all the money and just threw a spiral staircase in. That's just my opinion as a builder and as a building inspector. That things should have been looked at, because we don't usually like to give variance on properties that could have made something work without encroaching on the setback.
Can I speak on that?
Yep.
Please.
What do you think would have been a good option, like given seeing where you saw the layout of the backyard and everything we just talked about?
It's not my job to design. I mean, you could have, I mean, if the staircase didn't work with the architect drew, then you might have had to had a platform, maybe gone down a few sets of stairs to another platform and turn a direction. If something doesn't work that's drawn, you come up with a different plan to make it work. I mean, I know if the owner didn't want to, I mean, if we're talking about someone losing their garden over encroaching on the setback, that's two different worlds to me. I mean, if it works, it works. I mean, as long as I've got my 3 foot of clearance and I got my walkway through, that's all that's required by code.
And
Yeah,
the same
no-
with the patio, frankly, too. I mean, if it has to land on a patio, maybe it's not ideal, but it's not something that in my mind anyway, I'm speaking personally, not for the whole board, but would be enough to say that's a hardship. I think that's more self-imposed than anything else.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time seeing how it's not self-created,
So just so you know, Mr. Keys, in order for the zoning board to make a decision, there have to be certain findings of fact that they have to find in order to grant a variance or deny it. A hardship is being one of those. That is, you had an irregular lot, there was something, the topography was different, not something that was self-imposed. That's not considered a hardship. So without having an adequate finding of fact, it's difficult for this board or even the planning board or even conservation to make decisions without making sure those findings of facts are applicable, just so you have that background. So there was no questions or comments from the public. Madam Vice Chair, if you or the other members don't have any other questions or comments, I think you would ask for a motion to close the public hearing, and then you can go into your discussion and deliberations.
Yeah, there's no other, there's nobody else here, so I don't think there's any other questions. So
Right.
I'd ask for a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make
I
a motion to
second that.
close.
Do I have to
Yes, we
take
have
a
both.
roll call for that?
Yeah, you should do a roll call, please.
Okay. Dan,
Aye. Make a motion.
Amanda,
Aye.
myself, aye. Can I have a motion in regards to the variance for 242 Auburn Street? As to either approval or denial of the variance?
I will make a motion, unfortunately, to deny the request for a variance for 242 Auburn Street for relief of, I believe, 4.5 feet on the right side of the spiral staircase.
All in favor?
Sorry, I was going to second that motion.
Okay, thank you, Amanda.
All in favor, Dan?
There's just, if any discussion,
Oh, any further
I think Anna froze
Discussion?
on my end. Sorry.
No.
No.
you're back.
Dan, are in favor?
Aye.
Amanda?
Aye.
Anna? Myself, aye.
All right. Sorry, guys. Best of luck, but
Thank you. We do have some administrative items to discuss.
I think you just have the minutes from I think it was September 25th, if I'm not.
That's where I got the September from.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for the September 25th meeting that we had.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you. All in favor, Dan?
Aye.
Amanda?
Aye.
And myself, aye. I
Now
think that's
come-
all of our business.
That was the fun part.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion to adjourn. I was waiting for Amanda, but I will make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion. Thanks, Dan.
You were pretty
Um,
close to having Steve and I make the motion in the second.
All in favor, Dan?
Aye.
Amanda?
Aye.
Myself, aye.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, have a good night, all.
Thanks, guys.